Emily never imagined that the life she once dreamed of would turn into a storm so fierce that it could shatter her from the inside out. She grew up in a small American town where mornings smelled of coffee and fresh-cut grass, where kids laughed on the sidewalks, and where the world seemed calm, safe, and predictable. Her parents raised her with gentle values, teaching her to trust others, to see the good in people, and to believe that love was strong enough to fix anything. She carried hope like a lantern, and believed that kindness was a force that could move mountains. She excelled in school, made friends easily, and dreamed of a future filled with adventure, love, and purpose. She imagined falling in love with someone who cherished her, someone who would support her dreams, and together they would build a life full of laughter and security. When Emily met Jason, she felt as if the universe had answered her deepest prayers. He was confident, charismatic, and seemed to understand her in ways no one ever had. His smile could light up her darkest days. His words wrapped around her like a comforting blanket. He listened intently to her dreams, encouraged her ideas, and treated her like she was the most important person in the world. Their connection was immediate, magnetic, and exhilarating. She fell in love quickly, wholeheartedly, and without hesitation. In the beginning, he was everything she had hoped for, attentive, loving, and protective. He held her hand like she was fragile, left little notes of affection, planned romantic dinners, and whispered promises of a beautiful life together. But over time, the love that had once felt warm began to show cracks, and those cracks slowly turned into chasms. Abuse rarely comes all at once. It starts subtly, almost invisibly, and Emily didn't notice the early warning signs. It began with criticism disguised as concern, jokes that stung a little too much, and a controlling edge hidden beneath charm. "I just care about you," he would say, and she believed him. Gradually, he started questioning her friends, isolating her from her support network, and controlling what she wore, where she went, and even what she ate. Every attempt to set boundaries was met with anger, guilt-tripping, or manipulative apologies. She began to shrink, to doubt herself, and to question her own judgment. The world she had once loved began to feel smaller, darker, and suffocating. She laughed less, spoke less, and began living for his moods instead of her own. Slowly, she became invisible even to herself. The emotional abuse escalated. Jason mocked her ambitions, criticized her intelligence, and made her feel incapable. If he yelled, it was her fault. If he insulted her, it was a lesson she had to learn. If she cried, she was too sensitive. He twisted her reality until she questioned her memory, her perception, and even her worth. Friends reached out, but she withdrew. Family called, but she lied about being busy. Emily's world contracted until it consisted only of Jason's moods and demands. One winter night changed everything. Jason returned home furious, his anger filling every corner of the house. Doors slammed, words flew like knives, and his rage was palpable. Emily froze as fear gripped her body. His hands struck her, and the room became a battlefield of terror and confusion. In that moment, she realized that staying could cost her everything. Her life, her soul, her very sense of self. Something inside her snapped, not in despair, but in awakening. She realized she had to leave, and she had to leave that night. Trembling, she packed a small bag with essentials: clothes, identification, her phone, and a few personal items. She opened the door and stepped out into the frigid night air. She didn't feel the cold. All she felt was the urgent need to survive. She drove for hours with no destination in mind, tears streaming down her face, her heart pounding like a drum in her chest. Eventually, she parked in an empty lot and let herself collapse in relief and exhaustion. She cried until there were no tears left, until her chest ached from the weight of fear and hope entwined. She wasn't brave yet. She wasn't strong. She was broken, completely broken. But leaving was the first step toward reclaiming her life. She found a women's shelter where she was welcomed without judgment. A counselor spoke 3 words she would never forget: "You're safe now." For the first time in years, Emily allowed herself to breathe. At the shelter, she met other women with similar stories. Their courage became her inspiration. Their resilience became her hope. Healing was not linear. Some days she woke up feeling victorious, ready to conquer the world. Other days, the weight of trauma kept her in bed, suffocating her with despair. She attended therapy, gradually unpacking years of emotional abuse, manipulation, and isolation. She learned about gaslighting, control, and the cycles of trauma she had endured. She realized she was not weak, foolish, or undeserving. She was human, and survival required patience and determination. Emily began rebuilding her life slowly. She found a part-time job, then a full-time one, saving every dollar. She enrolled in online business courses she had once dreamed about, reigniting her passions and ambitions. She painted, journaled, and ran through the mornings, rediscovering joy in the simple things. Friends who encouraged her growth entered her life, and she began to trust again. Month by month, her confidence grew, her independence strengthened, and her sense of identity returned. Every small victory, a paid bill, a personal achievement, a quiet evening of reflection, was a step toward empowerment. One morning, Emily looked in the mirror and saw a woman she barely recognized. Strong, resilient, radiant, and alive. She had transformed. She had survived. She had become unstoppable. With renewed courage, Emily launched an online business selling handmade journals imbued with messages of hope and empowerment. Her story, shared anonymously at first, resonated with thousands of women. Messages poured in, thanking her for showing that survival was possible, that life after abuse was achievable. Her small business became a movement. Emily hosted workshops, spoke at events, and created online communities where survivors could find strength, resources, and connection. People called her fearless, inspiring, unstoppable. But Emily always said, "I'm not fearless. I was tired of living in fear." Her strength lay not in perfection but in resilience, not in invincibility but in persistence. Emily discovered that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite it. She learned that healing is not forgetting but transforming pain into purpose. She became a mentor, a beacon, a guiding light for women still trapped in darkness, showing them that the path forward, though difficult, is always possible. Years passed, and Emily's life blossomed into one she had once only dreamed of. A home of her own, a thriving business, fulfilling relationships, and a sense of peace she had once thought impossible. She traveled, met new people, helped others, and nurtured her passions without fear. Her story became an example, proving that no matter how dark the storm, there is always a way back to the self, always a way to reclaim life, dignity, and hope. She walked away from a life that tried to destroy her and built one that elevated her spirit. Emily, once fragile and uncertain, became strong, confident, wise, and unstoppable. Her journey is a testament to the power of resilience, courage, and self-belief. Emily became unstoppable